New window trim? Yep, coming right up. Dang, that was fast. Hang out and watch how we trim this window out. You might learn a thing or two.
There's multiple ways to trim out a window. In this case, I started off by putting my 1x4s on the sides and my 1x6s on the top and the bottom. The next thing I did was cut down some framing lumber for my window ledge to sit on, and then I ripped a miter on the bottom of it for my crown to be nailed to whenever it gets put up underneath my window ledge. All I'm trying to do here with this little scrap block is imitate the window ledge. After I've got my height right, I tack it off and then I screw it off with trim screws to make sure it doesn't move. Now it's time to rip down our window ledge. So after we've got our window ledge ripped down, I bring it inside to mark out for my notches so it inset against the window. Then I got my handy speed square that every carpenter should have and used it to finish marking out my lines. Then I busted out my jigsaw, turned it up to warp drive speed, and cut out my notches. Next we grabbed the router with a 1/2 inch roundover bit to clean up all the edges. And this 1/2 inch roundover is going to be the finished profile for the front of the window ledge. And before it gets said, I'm not too worried about painting it before it gets installed because we're not the painters on this job. Moving along to the window ledge installation. Don't be a greenhorn and forget your glue, guys. You always want to make sure you're getting that extra bonding strength. Next, we're going to tap it into place and add a few trim screws to secure it to our blocking that we installed earlier. This would have been a good time to throw in some biscuit joints to help with separation over time, but unfortunately we just didn't really have time on this job to do that. Alright guys, so we're moving right along. Up next we're going to be installing the crown underneath the window ledge. Check out this awesome 2-part glue that I like to use for my returns. It sure does help you from shooting your fingers if a pin nail was to shoot or curve out the side. After we've got both of our returns on, we're going to go ahead and install it up underneath our window ledge. Now you guys can see why I ripped that angle on the bottom of that framing block. It makes for a good nailer. Now it's time to fancy up the window with some back band along with the help of my little homemade jig here. Yep, all you gotta do is give her a little tap-tap-a-roo and then nail her off. Sure does save your fingers. No, but on a serious note, it really does help out getting your corners tight, and it's a lot safer when trying to hold your corners together. You don't have to worry about the nails curving out the side and going in your fingers. You could be basic and nail it on one piece at a time, but I like to go ahead and put it together on the ground. That way I get all my corners nice and tight. Alright, so the last thing we had to do is nail it off. I'm using a 18 gauge brad nailer with 1.5 inch nails to shoot through the back of the back band into the window casing. I know I'm not the best at explaining things sometimes, so if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a blessed day.